Have you ever felt like you've strayed so far from home that you could never go back? This is a story for you. It's a tale about a father and his two sons. One day, the younger son, full of youthful ambition and a desire for freedom, went to his father with a bold request. He said, "Father, give me the share of the estate that will be mine." The father, though perhaps saddened, agreed and divided his property between his two sons. Not long after, the younger son packed up everything he owned and set off for a distant country. Imagine him waving goodbye, the world at his feet. Leaving his family's quiet estate for the bright lights of a bustling city, he arrived and quickly found himself surrounded by new friends, or so he thought. Life became one long party. He was living the high life, spending his inheritance on lavish feasts, expensive clothes, and anything his heart desired. The money flowed like water, and he felt like he was on top of the world. But as quickly as it came, it all disappeared. A montage of his life would show wild parties turning into desperate gambles, his new friends vanishing as his pockets emptied. He spent every last coin. To make matters worse, a severe famine struck the land, and he found himself in desperate need. He was alone, broke, and hungry. His only option was to find work, and the only job he could get was feeding pigs for a local farmer. There he was, in a muddy field, surrounded by swine. He was so hungry that even the pods the pigs were eating looked appetizing. This was his rock bottom. In that moment of utter despair, surrounded by the smell of mud and pigs, he had a moment of clarity. He thought to himself, "How many of my father's hired servants have more than enough food to eat? And here I am, starving to death." He remembered his home, his father's kindness, and the life he had so carelessly thrown away. A new resolve filled him. "I will get up and go back to my father," he decided. "I'll say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Just make me like one of your hired servants.'" With that thought, he began the long journey home. The road was dusty and endless. He was tired, his clothes were rags, but his heart was filled with a sliver of hope, a desperate plea for forgiveness. He rehearsed his speech over and over, preparing for the rejection he felt he deserved. As he got closer, still a long way off, he saw a figure in the distance. It was his father. And his father saw him too. But instead of turning away in anger, the father's heart was filled with compassion. He didn't wait. He ran. He ran towards his long-lost son, this boy who had broken his heart. Before the son could even get out his prepared speech, his father threw his arms around him and embraced him. The son started to say, "Father, I have sinned against you," but the father wasn't listening to his apologies. He was just so overjoyed to have his son back. He turned to his servants and shouted, "Quick! Bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Let's kill the fattened calf and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And so the celebration began. But there was one person who wasn't celebrating, the older brother. He was out in the field working, and when he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. He was angry and confused. He complained to his father, "Look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders, yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours who has squandered your property comes home, you kill the fattened calf for him." The father, full of grace, came to him and said, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate and be glad, because this brother of yours was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." The story ends there, with the family together, a powerful image of forgiveness, grace, and the unconditional love that welcomes us home, no matter how far we've strayed. This timeless story reminds us that it's never too late to turn back, that forgiveness is always possible, and that a loving embrace is waiting for us, even when we feel we least deserve it. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that touches the heart.